Hello and welcome. I'm Exolite and this is my channel. Tonight we are going to talk about the 50 scariest, most frightening, horrifying, haunted Halloween attractions in the United States. If you decide to go to one, I would love it if you'd leave a comment below and tell us what it was like. Also, I do have a link for donations. It is not mandatory. It is not even close to mandatory. But if you do wish to donate, I'm going to go ahead and give you the link. I should post it below, but it's possible I'll forget. Those things happen. So, it is www.patreon, patreon.com/exitlight, and the E is capitalized. Again, you do not have to feel pressured. I do not want you to feel pressured. This is only if you would like to. Otherwise, my content is always free. Alright, you guys, let's see about this haunted content. Now, a couple of things. Since the industry is going through COVID, as are we all, there are some COVID restrictions being put into place. Many haunted houses across the country have had to make adaptations to comply with state health laws. Some of them have gone touchless, thank goodness, and some of them require masks. Many require advanced registration so that they don't max out of guest capacity. So please go to these websites and check before you just head on over and sign up if you need to. All right, let us go. Number 1, Alabama, the MANOR. What the majority of the population would consider a torture chamber rather than a haunted house, MANOR is by far the scariest quote-unquote haunted house there is. It began in San Diego and now has locations in Alabama and Tennessee, and not one person has made it through without asking for it to be over. You will be required to sign a 30-page waiver in order to participate, and this gives Russ McCamey and his team the okay to do such things as shock you, submerge you in water, and even give you unwanted dental work. I'm going to save some of the other things as a surprise for you, but just imagine those are just the beginning. McCamey is currently under watch from locals in both of his new locations because they want him out. The most disturbing part, he has over 27,000 people on a waiting list. If you're too scared, you can check out episode 8 of Dark Tourist on Netflix and see what this is all about. Coming in at number 2, and obviously this is alphabetic order, so I don't think it means scariest to least scariest, but we did start off with apparently the scariest. Number 2, Alaska, Fright Night Manor. This haunted house is super popular in Anchorage, and it offers a 3D element. Fright Night Manor has been haunting locals for more than 30 years, so you know it's probably really good. Arizona filled of screams. Large corn mazes are just extra spooky at night, and this Glendale haunted attraction will make you want to escape. But the question is, how? And I don't like corn mazes, so we probably won't bump into each other. Arkansas's Reaper Haunted House. If you desire an extra long haunt, Arkansas's Reaper Haunted House offers over 15,000 square feet of scares through 30 horrific scenes. It continues to be the top Arkansas haunted house, so you should check it out. Ugh, and it's supposed to be all new. All right. That is a long one. And you can't have a scary attraction list without having California's Knott's Scary Farm. This terrifying transformation of Knott's Berry Farm theme park to Knott's Scary Farm, where the Southern California theme park's Knott's Berry Farm has been a tradition since the 1970s. There is a documentary about some of the scarers that started somewhere maybe in the late 70s, early 80s, and they're called, I believe, sliders. And what they started doing back then was sliding on anything metal, just taping it to their shoes. And that way they could slide up behind you, and the noise scraping on the asphalt was scary, and it would send sparks up. And now they hire professionals to do a lot of the sliding. It has become a true art form to see these men and women in their costumes. They slide on their knees, their feet, their hands, you name it. They've turned it into a sliding masterpiece, and it's pretty scary to see a demon or a goblin or a witch or a werewolf coming at you towards your knees with sparks shooting out. Colorado's Hell Scream Haunts. At Colorado Springs Hell Scream Haunts, you can choose between the Hell Scream Haunted House and the Haunted Mines. Each has a detailed story. In the first, a reporter gets stuck while covering a story. And in the second, you can take a lights-off tour through the underground tunnels. Connecticut, Fright Haven. Experience a Victorian mansion spooked by bloodthirsty vampires, total darkness, and whatever's lurking in it, and a 3D carnival at Fright Haven in Stratford. I love a good vampire. Delaware, Frightland. If one haunted house isn't enough for you, maybe take a trip to Frightland in Middleton, where you can experience 8 haunted attractions you can choose from: Horror Hayride, Haunted Barn, Idalia Manor, Fear, The Attic, Ravenwood Cemetery, Zombie Town, and Zombie Prison, which is what I feel like around here on a Sunday morning. And this is also a must-have on any list. Florida, Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. One of the best scares in Florida is a must for the TV and movie junkie who also is into horror and roller coasters. Experience it together at Universal Halloween Horror Night. You will recognize the haunted house themes from American Horror Story, The Shining, to Saw, and there are 9 different houses to walk through in addition to Universal's famed rides. I love it that they changed the houses to be modern day movies or TV shows, or even historical TV shows or events. And who better to do that than a movie company? So if you can, go there. I think you'll love it. Georgia, the Netherworld Haunted House. You won't have to worry about these monsters touching you at Netherworld, but that doesn't mean you won't leave shaken to the core. The 2 houses for this season are Halloween Nightmares and Cyborg Shock. And there are escape rooms if you need even more of a spooky challenge. Hawaii Haunted Plantation. For real haunted vibes, check out Hawaii's Haunted Plantation. That is, if you're lucky enough to live there or happen to be on vacation at Halloween. At this haunt, there are over 60 actors as well as the spirits of Hawaii. Will they scare you? Can you handle it? They also have a drive-through Scarefest at Habilitiat. I probably just butchered that. At Aloha Stadium in Oahu. It sounds safe until killer clowns surround your car. Idaho. Requiem Haunted House is Idaho's top-rated haunted house for a reason. It features 7,000 square feet of horror, so there is plenty of haunting to be had there. Illinois. 13th floor haunted house. This Chicago experience has 2 haunted houses in a 30,000 square foot area. Cursed, Purgatory, and Dead End District. Freak show. And on to Indiana. As Indiana's scariest haunted house, Indy Scream Park touts 6 attractions for the bravest of souls. If you want an extra scary time, wear the glow sticks so that the monsters can give you the VIP terror treatment. I think not. How about Iowa? Scream Acres Park. Escape from zombies in a prison, monsters in a corn maze, clowns in a carnival, and spirits in a slaughterhouse at Scream Acres Park. Be sure to do the cornfield. It's a fan favorite. Kentucky. The Sinister Tombs Haunted House in Kentucky has been haunting locals in Eastview since 2001. The land also boasts a quarter-mile trail if you're feeling extra adventurous. Louisiana. The 13th Gate. Thanks to the film industry's boom in Louisiana, the owners of this terrifying Baton Rouge haunted attraction have hired the best of the best when it comes to set design and makeup. The walkthrough lasts 30 minutes as people make their way through 13 themed rooms seamlessly woven together. It involves claustrophobic cellars, a real snake-infested Louisiana swamp, and more. I don't know about this swamp business. And on to Maine, Destination Haunt. Destination Haunt, located in Maine, has several spooky attractions for guests to visit. Experience the Butcher, Buried Alive Cemetery, the Outdoor Maze. Maryland, Field of Screams. So many fields, so many screams. It is, however, unaffiliated with the Field of Screams in Kansas, and there's an exclamation point to let you know for sure. It has been changed into one long haunted trail for all your scary needs. Tickets are purchased for groups up to 6 people, so bring some friends of yours to scream along with you. Massachusetts Factory of Terror is a Massachusetts institution. It has locations in Fall River, Worcester, and West Warwick. Each location has 5 attractions where you'll definitely be scared throughout the night. Michigan Terrified Forest. At the Terrified Forest, you'll walk through trees in the dark, and something evil can pop out at you any moment. This is the kind of thing that scares me more than houses. Put me out in the forest in the dark. And they will pop out at you at any moment. There are 30 acres of this haunt dedicated solely to scaring you. So good luck if you choose to go there and brave this one. Minnesota, the haunting experience on Highway 61. For over 30 years, 3 decades, the haunting experience on Highway 61 has been terrifying locals in Minnesota. 3 haunts experiences are offered at this destination: the Hayride, the Haunted House, and Cell Block 61. In the haunted house, you will find a skeleton eating fire. Mississippi, Cedar Hills Haunted Farm Trail of Terror. This haunted house is actually a spooky trail you walk through, if you can. You are not allowed to bring a flashlight on the trail, so don't think that you can get out of this. Cedar Hills Haunted Farm also hosts a hayride, Sensturbia, zombie paintball, and a corn maze. Also, private fire pits for your enjoyment. Missouri, the Darkness. One of St. Louis's favorite haunted houses, the Darkness, was completely renovated with a lair of spiders, Kingdom of the Witch, Ice Cave, and Terror Visions 3D. You can also visit their sinister haunted house, Creepy World, for a haunted hayride and vampire-themed escape rooms. And just for more fun, they have a Krampus haunted Christmas and also a haunted Valentine's event. Love it. Montana. I'm getting a theme here. Field of Screams. Western Montana's haunted attraction, Field of Screams, is a fright-filled time that includes walking through corn stalks, graveyards, and a trip through a ghost town. Visit to see if it's as frightful as you think it might be. Nevada. The Freakling Brothers, the Trilogy of Terror. Considering that in Nevada you can have R-rated haunted houses, I think you might have an idea of what you're in for. People have said that it feels like a near-death experience, which probably explains the fact that you have to sign a waiver so that actors can push you, cover you in a slimy substance, and have you walk through electric chains where you will be shocked. I don't enjoy shocking, but if you do, you go and tell us what it's like. Nebraska, Mystery Manor. In Nebraska's Mystery Manor, the story goes that William Hall murdered his wife using an axe, and his wife's brother then murdering Hall with the same weapon. Then somehow the brother was murdered too. Can you survive the Williamses' murderous streak? New Jersey, Brighton Asylum. Today, Brighton Asylum is the scariest place on earth, with moving sets, animatronics, and scares that'll make you scream so much you might lose your voice. Brighton Asylum is a stop you don't want to miss. Not able to get to it during the haunting season? Don't worry. It offers haunts all year around. New Hampshire, Haunted Overload. Haunted Overload is a live-action show where you are the star. Immerse yourself in a frightening experience in the forest filled with scary creatures, one-of-a-kind sets, and spooky costumes. New Mexico, McCall's Haunted Farm. McCall's Haunted Farm joins others on this list as attractions that have an accompanying scary story. See if you can escape Farmer McCall's wrath in the haunted cornfield. The haunted barn might be closed for this season, so please call in advance. New York, This Is Real. This Is Real is one of the scariest experiences in New York City, and it is a non-traditional haunted house in Brooklyn. You'll be entered in a theatrical immersion where you're trying to survive and get away from your own abduction. You will need to physically move and run around, so you do not need to dress to impress. Also, the Bain Haunted House, which used to be in New Jersey, is rated as one of the most terrifying haunted houses in the entire United States, and it is now located in NYC's Hell Kitchen. Did I say Hell Kitchen? Hell's Kitchen. North Carolina Haunted Forest at Panic Point. North Carolina's #1 haunted attraction will make sure that you'll leave feeling scared. There's the Haunted Forest, Dark Trail, Menacing Maze, and Killers in the Corn. So much corn. The Dark Trail is a fan favorite. You must use a rope to guide yourself out of the trail. North Dakota Haunted Fort. Do you believe in ghosts? Haunted Fort is a destination for those obsessed with paranormal activity. Spirits have haunted this location since 1989, and the actual haunted house has been operating since 2002, hosting more than 8,000 guests per year. Ohio, the Dent Schoolhouse. This schoolhouse, filled with bodies of students killed by the janitor who haunts the hallways and classrooms, is one of Cincinnati's scariest haunted houses. The Dent Schoolhouse has frights for everyone, no matter how brave you are. Oklahoma, Trail of Fear. Oklahoma's Trail of Fear hosts 6 attractions, ranging from kid-friendly scares to downright terrifying ones. So choose from the Pumpkin Junction, the Experiment, Cirque de Morte, Psychotic Nightmare, Oklahoma Halloween Festival, and the Haunted Midway. You're going to have to sign a waiver before you're allowed in, so enter at your own risk. Oregon, the Fear PDX, the largest Halloween event in Portland. The Fear PDX features 4 creepy attractions to fuel your nightmares. Pick from Dark Carnival, The Creatures, Doll Factory, and The Mansion. Doll Factory sounds very frightening. Pennsylvania, Terror Behind the Walls. Terror Behind the Walls, located in, this is super famous, Philadelphia's Eastern State Penitentiary, is scary. And you can take a night tour of this actual prison in the dark. And frankly, that sounds pretty creepy, even with the lights on. You'll even get to look inside Al Capone's cell. Rhode Island, say it with me, Field of Screams. This Field of Screams is where nightmares come true. Experience the Dungeon of Doom, Dead River Haunted Hayride, or the Cirque du Souls. South Carolina Nightmare Dungeon Haunted Attraction is a real 112-year-old cabin where you must find your way out. But beware, scary creatures will be in your way at every turn. South Dakota Fear Asylum. Take a tour of South Dakota's Fear Asylum, where you will be met with horrifying patients and creepy scenes in the mental institution. Tennessee, Nashville's Nightmare. It is a must for adrenaline junkies who get their rush from horror. Clowns with axes and terrifyingly dressed monsters will have you looking for the nearest exit ASAP. The Texas House of Torment. Now, it was closed last year, so there isn't a lot to describe right now, but it says that given a year to plan, the houses at the House of Torment will most likely be even more terrifying than they were in 2019. Also, if you want to do this, you can head to San Antonio for the 13th floor haunted house, which is exactly like the one in Illinois, for some adrenaline-inducing fun. Utah, Nightmare on the 13th. At Nightmare on the 13th, you'll be taken through a series of events. First, you'll visit the Nightmare Courtyard, then encounter the Dark Harvest, and then meet it, a.k.a. Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Enter if you think you can make it through. This year, the Nightmare Alley and the Dark Ride of Terror are coming to visit you. Vermont, Nightmare Vermont. The Nightmare Vermont is a haunted attraction that'll please theater connoisseurs. The haunted house is actually a live stage show with a theatrical narrative. Think of it as an escape room of sorts. Can you make it out? Virginia, 43 Nightmares. Whatever your nightmare might be, 43 Nightmares will probably live one out for you. From clowns to vampires to witches, this haunted house goes all out to make sure you are full-on terrified. Washington State, the Fright Factory. Walk through Washington's most terrifying haunted house, if you dare. The haunt includes clowns and coffins, and you should probably leave the kiddos at home for this one. Even the video is very scary. They also have a drive-thru, which is called Stalker Farms in Snohomish, for $120 per carload. You'll encounter creepy clowns, cannibals, and other monsters. West Virginia, the Asylum Haunted House. At the Asylum Haunted House, you can visit a hospital turned asylum and witness the outcome of an evil doctor's experiment on his patients. The doctor will see you now. Wisconsin, Burial Chamber. Choose from 3 different haunted houses at the Burial Chamber: Adrenaline, Insanity, and Phobia. Each house has its own theme, and if those aren't enough, you can go inside a real coffin for a simulated burial. Wyoming. Nightmare on 17th Street. Started by members of a fraternal order, the Knights of Pythias, this traditional haunted house will leave you spooked. The release you'll need to sign beforehand will only amplify the scare factor. And what exactly are you signing up for? Well, you don't know until after you go in. Thank you for coming. If you would please give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to be subscribed and you are not, please go ahead and do so. And I am doing a giveaway probably this month. It's when I hit 3,000 subscribers. Very soon though. And if you click that bell, you won't miss when my content is loaded, so you won't miss any information about the giveaway. Thank you. Good night.